Okay, so FF14 Savage is very savage. So, from my understanding, they have done Tier 1 and Tier 2 of Arcadian and not much else. So let's check some of this out. This is a really long video, so I'll see, like, how we go. And yeah, let me know if it's loud enough.
Well, Kyle?
Yes, Garrett.
This is
Hold on, that might be all right.
way too serious. We're not doing costumes.
Sorry.
Too loud.
Previously, we had our first ever Savage rating experience on current Savage content. However, we did it a patch late.
With crafted gear and rain and catch-up mechanics.
We did it in 7.1, and Savage came out in 7.0, and so there were catch-up mechanics in effect. And also, Grinding Gear had a very special catch-up mechanic, which was called our already amazing group of players that we typically play with.
So I played with good people.
Geared to the teeth.
And had already done it 1,000 times.
Yeah, everyone knew what they were doing.
They don't do blind, do they?
Got the M8S,
They go with a guide?
Our group had done it before. Our healer buddy, Lost, hadn't quite cleared it yet, but he did technically clear it the week before we cleared it with the group. So we were the only two left. So that was still happening.
I don't think there's anything wrong playing with experienced players. That's fine.
For tier
that's
one.
fine.
Like, we really couldn't have had a more comfortable experience, I feel like, with that first Savage tier.
It was the perfect learning environment because we were the only problems ever.
But, I mean, I feel that's also true for tier 2. I do feel like
Oh,
we were the...
someone said, I think previously, someone said that they will progress up to a new mechanic and then look at a guide. So they don't watch a full guide and then go and do the full fight. It's kind of staggered. But they're not figuring things out per se. Okay. And they don't necessarily have people sandbagging for them, yeah? Right, okay. Okay. Serenata, because I've lost about 10 kilos, bro. Lost a little bit of weight.
Problems. About halfway through, I think we weren't nearly the problems that we were in tier 1.
Yes. We got better since M4S. We fathomed a lot more. We had more tradition on our side. We understood more mechanics when we saw them. But it's still just like raw memorization at the end of the day.
That's the interesting thing looking back at tier 1.
I wonder how well they learn their classes. That'd be interesting.
Because we get advice constantly. It's all varying degrees of helpful and asked for. But I think the kinder, the people who are cheering us on in the advice realm, they tend to lean on, don't worry about it so much, y'all. Like, you don't have as much experience. You haven't been doing Savage raids for literally years, if not multiple expansions. You don't know the language that it deals in. You haven't seen, like, similar, not full-on repeat mechanics, but, like, repeat style mechanics.
Just know the difference between an amateur and a master is that a master has failed way more times. By the way, get ready for a party wipe.
Oh!
Congratulations, you're now better at the game than you were 5 seconds ago.
And I gotta say, going from tier 1 to tier 2,
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at
that
it.
much repeated. There was just not that much that reminded me of tier 1.
They each had their little habits, their little baby projects. There was a lot of renaming left and right.
I haven't done first tier. How true is that? Is there a lot of repeat stuff? I mean, there's got to be in, out, shake it all about, clocks, parties, tanks, rolls, you know, all that kind of stuff. There's got to be debuff splurge here and there. There's got to be, you know, the renaming of left and right side. Yep, that's definitely a thing. There's always the standard stuff, yeah, but I think every tier brings at least a couple things that are unique, like, I've not seen this before or whatever, in some kind of combination.
Always happens.
Yeah.
That always... Like, but if you're going to call that a repeat mechanic, I think you're really stretching. It means something so different on, like, nearly every boss. Like, yeah, it's left or right, but, like, what's happening left or right? What shape is it? What color is it? Is it you're dead or you get a damage down?
Together or apart?
Is
Yeah,
it both? Potentially. Is it dead for a healer but a damage down for a tank?
I'd say the biggest friction of this was just that instead of upgrading our gear more organically, we had crafted gear, and then we had to do tome gear. and having to run a bunch of dungeons.
Oh, they did the full shebang.
Doing
Cool.
Savage was a very
awesome.
odd experience.
I mean, it's still a thing you technically should be doing. When we began tier 2, you and I were, full disclosure, burnt the out on grinding. Still enjoying raiding. I just didn't want to grind tomes anymore. And that's just the thing that's always, you should be doing it. There's always this interplay between raiding and getting some tome gear, because some tome gear is going to be your bis after you get glaze or twine and pour it on it.
Weave it in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, I tombstone grinded for like 3 weeks, and then I just haven't done it anymore because it doesn't matter. And everyone says I should still do it for my alt jobs or whatever, but like, That reminds me, actually, I'm in an expert roulette right now. AFK check? Oh my god, thank you guys. I didn't ask for this. They told me to do this. I didn't ask for this. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, I was grinding gear. Wait, these guys, wait, hold on, they're complaining about grinding gear? No, that's gotta be a meme, They're complaining about grinding tombstone gear? That's their name, bro. Look at his face right now. That's your name, dude. That's your name. That's your branding.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. That's perfect timing. Love it.
It seems pointless. It doesn't translate. Dungeons are so easy compared to Savage.
That's like me not liking bears.
To get best in slot gear so that I can be better in Savage. I'm like, why? I've mentioned that before, and folks are like, oh, you could do hunts instead. I'm like, so something that's even more throwaway and not a challenge?
It's a fine group of activities.
Yeah.
You do a dungeon, then I go on a hunt, maybe if it's ready. And I did a lot of hunts. Hunts were my preferred way.
Okay, that was a really good point, right? Like, he made a point of throwaway content. And I do agree that dungeons in this game are throwaway content. Like, grinding gear is fine. And when I say grinding gear, guys, I'm actually talking about grinding gear, not them. Grinding gear is fine, but like grinding the expert dungeons, I mean, I have only 2 dungeons, and they're both pretty like whatever. And if you do them more than twice, you're like, here's 10 minutes of my life I'm not getting back. And it doesn't really prepare you for Savage. So I can actually agree with that. If there was either more variety or there was like hard mode or something, then yeah, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. So I can somewhat level with that sentiment of the portion, but I absolutely think you should grind gear for Savage Raid. Like, you should absolutely have to get something before you go into Savage. Although, like, that's what an MMORPG is. It's grinding gear.
To get geared.
That was my favorite day, is when that would happen, but it would only happen like once a week. I would
the stars align.
I would do my expert roulette, and then as I'm coming out, it was like, bing, my Discord popped, and there's a hunt. I'm like, cool, I can make it. Perfect timing. Oh, what a nice big just chunk of domes. I don't have to work so hard this week. But that, if I was lucky, would happen once a week for me with my own luck. They're fine. They're not fine. I am officially just so over expert roulette. It is so repetitive. Not nearly. There's so many fucking dungeons in this game. Put them all. Give me current tomes for doing any of them.
I'd like to level an alt job while getting some nice new tomes for my main job.
Well, and I can already hear someone typing, you do get current tomes. Give me the right amount. Give me the most amount, which is the amount that expert roulettes give you.
Roulettes give.
They're more efficient,
Yes.
which means I end up running the same 3 dungeons at nauseum, and every once in a while I get a new player, and I resent that new player, and I shouldn't, and it breeds animosity. Because the game's forcing me to do the same 3 things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And when someone's like, I heard 7-2 was good, I'm coming back. They end up in my group, and I'm like, I hate you. I'm becoming toxic, Kyle.
You made him toxic, Final Fantasy 14.
Final Fantasy 14 breeds toxic players.
I did something very silly in our first go. In our first Savage experience, I went, excellent. Arcadian. Let me run it over and over again for gear. Normal. For gear.
You're an idiot.
Apparently. You would think doing Black Cat.
I don't think you can.
For Black Cat.
I don't think you can step into your first Savage tier and then be toxic to people in expert roulettes for not knowing, like, not being good at the game. You can't do that. You gotta be like ultimate legend. Now, then you can stop being toxic, you know? But by that point, you don't want to be toxic to people because you're an ultimate legend and you've hit 30 years old. You're not married. You don't have kids. Probably don't own your own home. Probably work in that same dead-end job. You just don't have the energy in you to be toxic to people anymore because you're an ultimate legend. Yeah, a Hexa legend, yeah. But that's the thing. By the time you get that dragon, you no longer want to be toxic. It's the circle of life. The only people that are allowed to be toxic aren't, like, they don't want to be toxic.
On the harder difficulty, you know,
if you you could offer me, you could put so much money on the line, I could not tell you how the normals of these fights play out. I have no idea.
long forgotten.
I don't. There's like so. I don't even think that that's similar, with the exception of one.
Yeah,
of
you
them,
do them once and never again.
I think it's kind of a letdown in the Savage version, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay, well, this isn't a video about gearing, though it's a very intricate part.
It's kind of a video
your
about
Savage
gearing.
experience. You need gear.
It's a video about the Savage experience, and gear is a part of the Savage experience.
Gear makes it easier.
Do they know their own name?
If you like that week one experience, that's part of you enjoying less gear.
I'm sorry, I just realized because I'm more in frame, you can really see me drinking. So
I liked having gear.
I currently have gear. I am 2 pieces away from completely best and slotted out at the time of recording this. We're going to be re-clearing this Thursday. You're invited, by the way. Please
Thank you very
come.
much.
We're a healer short, and we're also a tank short, so it's going to be interesting.
Oh, wow.
I hope you're enjoying your camping, Azumi.
I mean, I feel like, what do we do now? We play the game. Like, re-clears, hell yeah. We finally learned all the mechanics. Unlike M4S, where we defeated it not understanding the back half. Some of it, but a lot of it.
I understood most
Well,
of
that's
that
interesting.
The sunrise, praising sun.
How come they didn't know the back half of the boss? I feel like what I know about M4, a lot of people tried to get to know the back half of that boss, if you know what I'm saying. No, but like, how come they were able to kill it if they didn't know? Is it just like that kind of fight, or is it they like just kind of got help through it or something?
For me, it was the lightning
Sunset
balls.
Sabbath, sunrise Sabbath.
I had no interest in learning the lightning bulbs. I was just going to follow the group.
Oh yeah, but you can for that.
Yeah.
Right, so they
Fine.
just group follow. Okay, got it.
The tower plus the clones that all look the same, but they're in slightly different poses, so they do different things. That's the part where I'm just like, we didn't do re-clears, so I never learned. I look back at Tier 1 just like this fever dream. It's like I know they did a graduation ceremony for my 8th grade, but like I know that happened.
Yeah.
I believe it. I know it's a thing that occurred, but I don't remember it.
That final in 8th grade was hard, but you look back on it and you're like,
I have that
wow,
for some raid TS.
Spelling favorite wasn't that difficult at the time with my adult brain.
I'm fairly certain our spelling was more difficult in 8th grade than spelling favorite.
I was trying to think of a word. Archipelago?
I'm not sure you even
Archaeology. The thing with the little islands. I got an F in 4th grade spelling.
Oh, now I can't think of
Archipelago, right?
No, that's not how you...
Archipelago.
My point stands. Tier 1 feels like a fever dream to me, except for Honeybee. I could probably go do Honeybee right now and remember 75% of the fight, and I would probably get the other 25% pretty quickly. But like Black Cat, nah, got nothing.
Oh yeah, I could totally make it through the gun phase with the little symbols. That is ingrained in my brain.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the little nipple.
The counting?
and
The thing you
little
yelled
two
at me?
dolls.
Oh, the nipple.
Yeah, no, not
yeah,
the first thing. No.
No.
the-
Andros face.
In, out. I've had to in, out so many times since then with different mechanics. Like, that's just overridden. I have no space. And there's no reason to. Like, there's no reason I should go do M4S.
No,
Thankfully.
you're right.
But,
I think I still need the chess piece from M3S to complete that glam set. That's kind of it. I actually would like to.
Well,
go
you
do
need
that.
it if you want to do
It's a
Fru,
fever
right? You
dream
need to
that
farm.
I know I was there for, but I kind of vaguely remember with like the exception of Honeybee, which I think means Honeybee is
Chill.
the fight that I understood the most.
let's get to cruiser waiting.
Cruiser waiting. Yes, cruiser wait. This is Arcadian Savage Tier 2. You've done it, everybody. You've beaten the term wing out of me.
I still like wing, but it's okay. Dancing green.
I feel fine starting negative because I'm gonna then return to mostly positive.
Hold on, they better not say a single negative thing about M5 because it is actually on my Mount Rushmore of Savage bosses. I would put M5. I don't think I have a bad word to say about the fight. Apart from the fact that other people can get me killed because they forget, that they mess up.
I hate this fight. I think this fight is the poster child for everything wrong with Final Fantasy XIV snapshots.
Oh, it was a snapshot city.
It is just a not as well executed Suzaku fight. Suzaku is like a Simon Says DDR experience that doesn't punish you for not installing a camera mod.
You're talking about multiple things, but I understand where you're going.
Dancing Green's trying to do a dance fight. They literally do DDR mechanics in Suzaku, and they do it better than any dance mechanic in Dancing Green Savage. Dancing Green also has a section where you have to look in the far.
I like Suzaku, by the way, but this is the best dance fight that's ever been made in WoW or FF. I can't speak for any other MMO or any other. This is better than Dance Dance Revolution. And I flippin' love Dance Dance Revolution. This is a great fight because it is a dance fight, and you feel like when I killed this boss, I did not feel like I had progressed a Final Fantasy boss. I felt like I had danced. I felt like a jive turkey. I felt like I had boogied down. I felt like it did not feel like I had progged an FF fight. It felt like I'd done a dance, and that's what it should have been, because that's what it is trying to be. That's what I think. The snapshot thing, I don't even think I really got that like bad snapshots on this, but yeah, I don't know.
Or distance to see what you're supposed to do, and Suzaku Extreme does it better.
Let's talk about that. Let's break down the mechanics one at a time here a little bit, because overall, as a dance fight, amazing flavor, fun song. I had a lot of fun in this. However, I didn't feel like I was healing. I was pressing buttons in rhythm, which was fun, but it was a weird, not really MMO experience. You did everything right at the exact time when it happened. There was no improvisation. There was no room for creativity. You did his fight, and you fought
that's
him
his dance
on his floor. So in that way, I wasn't entertained by the fight, but I did think the design was really, really good. And the damage hit pretty hard, so I did heal.
I think I think it depends on how they're looking at the fight. If they're looking at just, I killed the boss, and they don't care about if they died or not, they don't care about damage downs, they don't care about, like, executing uptime or whatever, then yeah, and I mean, we went from 50% best pull to killing the boss, like Seeing Enrage, right? So it's not a hard boss to progress. But when you do this boss and you have no damage downs, you don't put a foot wrong, and you have maximum uptime, it feels better than I think most fights in this game, because it is a dance simultaneously. And when you marry, like, if you don't care about your damage or whatever, then you're missing half the component of this fight, I think. So I'm not saying I disagree with them. I actually agree with what they're saying, if you are to remove a portion that I think is it's like having like a really nice cake or something, but you didn't put any sauce with it or whatever. Like, you're kind of missing a key component or whatever. I don't know, do you have sauce with cake? You know what I mean?
Just wasn't creative.
There's a few parts of this fight I really like. I like the spotlight mechanic.
Spotlight is cute. The dance.
Spotlight is that's the coolest thing that is dance-like in this fight, in my opinion. That really resonated with me. I like it. It was the perfect example of what the Savage raiding experience is like, at least for me, someone who is a bit of a slow learner. It started and it was so hard, and my brain did not wrap itself around how to do the spotlight mechanic. And then by the time I got it, I felt awesome. It made me feel so good, because it started.
Yeah, that's a good positive.
Feeling so shit, so horrible at this mechanic. And that's really, in a nutshell, what I find so compelling about Savage. I run into something new, it kicks my ass, and it humbles me. And if it's particularly difficult, wait till we get to M8S, it kicks my ass over and over and over again. And if it's really difficult, if it's in the upper echelon of truly hell level mechanics, it breaks me. I have a point where I think I will never get this. I start pleading. I start bargaining like I'm going through stages of grief. Like, how can I cheat this? Is it something where I can just follow somebody until I get the muscle memory down and then I can try to understand it? Can I just ask someone to shot call it for me so I can take that load off of my brain? But then eventually, I actually put in the mental work and I understand it and I get it good and I feel amazing. And that's what I find so damn compelling.
So I was just making my own video. I was just recording my own video of 50 Savage boss clears. And this is such a pertinent thing that I put in my notes, is you will not improve on a fight on this kind of mechanic if you do not have a action plan of how to learn and how to dissect a mechanic. And what I mean by that is, like, remember my advanced relativity where I couldn't figure out how to navigate my position, and I thought, I'll just wing it and I think I know where I need to go. It's like, no, you need to know, right, okay, so if A is here, if that's north, and the boss is starting here, then I need to move, like, this is not advanced relativity, this is just, like, you know, any mechanic, whatever, like, okay, I need to move between A and D marker or whatever, and then I need to rotate round from that. Like, you need to know where, like, how you're tackling it. You need a structure to how to progress the mechanic, which requires understanding. So having the understanding and then putting in the action plan, that's what I've learned. That's what I have learned from my time doing Savage raiding. You need the cues, you need the reference point, you need the signposting. When I reach this lamppost, I turn left. You know what I mean? And literally for for E12 with literal lampposts, stoplights, I guess. But yeah. I couldn't follow my own strat. I cooked the strat very quickly for advanced relativity, but I couldn't actually execute it. Yeah. So this is what he's talking about here, and I think it's a really good point of, like, having a reference point really helps speed that process up. But
About Savage at its core, I understand it and I get it good and I feel amazing. And that's what I find so damn compelling about Savage at its core. And the spotlight mechanic in Dancing Green, if I had to say something nice about it, it's exactly that. It's that experience for me. I also like the Tetris shapes that come down.
Yeah, that was all
when
right.
I, as a tank, actually have to do something important. It's the only time I have to do something important in this fight, because other than that, just facing the boss north.
Those are fun moments when you were trying to get from your spotlight to the other side of the boss because that particular combo had you moving the furthest, or when you were Tetrising and you had to in at the end of it. That was a fun little stutter step hustle.
Yeah.
To try to get into.
Are you saying do the hustle?
However, I'm trying to remember. That's Let's Pose. What's the name of the thing with the frogs that point directions?
There's a lot of frog mechanics.
Let's Dance. The pointing arrow frogs. Super cute, adorable frogs, very flavorful. However, if you got in the very back, Dancing Green's fat head was on top of the frogs.
I find it worse if you're in the front. Because Dancing Green's even bigger.
Green.
He's even bigger in your frame. They're just like, what if we made a mechanic where the most important thing is you have to see to the very opposite ass end of the room? And what if we put the boss
it is
in
a bit
the most
tricky at
inconvenient
times.
place humanly possible? You remember when 7.2 dropped?
You just keep your camera fixed.
There were all these patch notes about
I guess if you're not playing legacy movement, if you're not using legacy movement, that probably is pretty awkward to do. But if you're playing legacy, it's fine. You just move your character into. You keep your camera, and then you just move.
and damage fall off on multiple enemies, and we went, I bet there's going to be an ad phase that is going to make us cry. And then M6S happened, and we were like, yep, that's cool. I cannot believe 7.2 didn't have a, hey, we slightly increased the amount of distance you can pull your camera out, because god damn it, the 14, the camera is just so stupid close in.
I would like it a bit
hate
further.
And I don't begrudge anyone who installs a mod. I haven't installed a mod. You're probably looking at some of my gameplay footage right now. You can see that I didn't install a mod, but goddamn, either don't do this or improve your camera system.
It was some artificial difficulty in that way. It wasn't impossible. You can
It wasn't
zoom
impossible,
in,
but
you
it's
can
like-
move the camera sideways, but
My point isn't that it's impossible. My point is that it doesn't spark joy, and it makes it feel like it's not as well designed as a lot of other fights in this tier.
it's a terribly fun mechanic, and I want it to be as much fun as it presents.
I want it to be as fun as it sounds on paper. You described to me, you look to the disco dancers at the end of the disco-themed raid fight, and you do what they do on a dance, and it's exploding, and you feel cool, and you're keeping uptime during this whole thing because the boss is there to get hit. And I like all of that, but I can't see what the frick is happening. And I want to enjoy it. I just want to enjoy it. Savage is hard enough. Don't make it artificially harder through what feels like lackluster design.
And that wasn't the snapshot moment. The snapshot moment was the center move into your buddy's pizza slice.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That does look a little bit weird. Hold
Oh
on.
my god.
Okay.
We got snapshotted so hard. I saw that was bull.
And some of those, not all of them, which just made it all the more madness, were egregious. And don't wait. Oh, yeah, get good. Yeah, you get good, and you get good. But when you're learning to get good, the variance on that snapshot was maddening.
That was the first time I've ever wanted to run a VPN while playing this game.
I personally never had snapshot issues with this boss. If I did, I'd blame myself a lot of the time. I do have snapshot issue. I mean, generally my snapshots are pretty insane. Where you guys go, how did you not get hit there? And I go, I don't know. But that might be a ping issue. That might just be like that, literally like an individual thing. I don't know. I don't feel like, to be honest, I don't feel like they should have been hit here.
Good. But when you're learning to get
Like, there's the hit. Then he moves. He's out of it now.
variance,
He's out of it for like a couple seconds. Then he gets like, that actually looks like he shouldn't have been hit, in my opinion. Unless it's hitting him. Wait, hold on. It's not hitting him with the. Is it hitting him with the pizza slice, or is it hitting him with that? With the donut. Hold on.
snapshot,
Maybe I'm looking at
you
it wrong,
get good.
actually.
But when you're learning to get good, the variance on
Oh, I think it's the outer ring. Oh, okay. I was thinking it was the pizza slice. Oh, yeah. Maybe the outer. Yeah, maybe he was slow, actually.
you get good. But when you're learning to get good, the variance on that
He kind of runs like to the side and then forward a bit. He doesn't sort of like cut in and across. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. You know what is funny, by the way? Like, again, I'm not like, hey, great dudes. I'm just, it's a bit of a meme, but they said they don't like the fight, and I really like the fight, but they say they don't like the fight, and then every single clip so far has been them with the damage down, and it's just funny. But look, that doesn't mean anything. But I just found it comical. Okay, but it's not like this is not an elitist thing or anything. I just found it funny to be like, oh, I don't really like that fight. I got hit every single time, but like, look, okay, forget I said that because people are gonna think I'm being toxic there. I'm not. I just thought it was funny.
snapshot was maddening.
That was the first time I've ever wanted to run a VPN while playing this game. We're East Coast. Our ping, it hurts.
Worst monk in the
It
world.
hurts.
It's me,
And
baby.
For the most part, I've made peace with the snapshot. There's even times I think it's kind of cool. I can worm my way back into attack and look like a badass because I know that once the telegraph resolves, I can step into whatever I want.
But something about that particular mechanic
That one,
was far worse than anything else.
Still with you. Still, I mean, we cleared it multiple times. There was still just times after I understood it and I knew I had to move earlier than I normally would for a snapshot mechanic. I would still just get got. And sometimes just like, okay.
There are some
I
fights
got
like that
14,
sometimes.
y'all. I got 14.
There are some fights like
And
that
then I have a
sometimes.
personal extra layer of annoyance with that mechanic specifically. If I have now cleared 8 Savage Fights, that is the only mechanic I literally changed to Legacy controls. And I'm not here to tell you you're doing it wrong if you're playing Legacy controls. This is a personal preference. I hate Legacy controls. I understand why they're in this game. If I played with a controller, it's absolutely how I would play. I do not play with a controller. I play with a keyboard. I think it's really annoying for a mechanic to be so ass that it is the correct play to swap your control style for a single fight, which is exactly what I did, because when you get into this M6S, there's some very important what direction you're looking mechanics, which Legacy controls are infinitely worse for. And so for that reason, like, straight to hell with M5S. This is
that's a fair. Yeah, actually, M6 with Legacy is actually kind of annoying sometimes, like with Windmark. And the boss, like, you'll want to go forward, but the boss is there, and like you'll turn and hit, and then you go that way, and you're like, dude, I was like double mouse clicking. I was going that. I was like WASD. Well, I was pressing W, and I was looking that way. So that's actually a fair point. I can take that.
In the history of Final Fantasy XIV.
What was that called?
Wait, hold on.
This is one of my least favorite fights I've ever done in the history of Final Fantasy XIV.
What was that called?
Arcady Night Fever.
The bullshit award goes to Arcady Night Fever. Frog Tarage, cute stuff.
See, I actually really
Watch
like this
frogs
mechanic,
moonwalk.
but
You just gotta learn it.
We gotta talk about every fight before you give the bullshit award.
Well, this is just for that. This is
for every fight?
Just for that fight.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, then yeah.
But
But
I'm
honestly,
comfortable just giving this to the whole tier.
honestly,
honestly,
I don't think there's a single mechanic I hate more, because I think it's annoying to do, even if it wasn't struggling with the way that the game reconciles snapshots, but it's also made infinitely worse because of the way that Final Fantasy XIV reconciles snapshots. I'm paranoid for this. I'm going full conspiracy brain. There's just something wrong with this one. It's so much more punishing than any other snapshot I've ever seen in this game.
It needs some time in the oven. The hitting in
Whole
rage
fight needs some time in the oven.
Hitting in rage was just gear at the time, so because we suck. Woo! Moving on.
We suck. Let's move on to the best fight in the history of Final Fantasy XIV.
Damn.
okay, they think this is the best fight. Okay.
We re-cleared it multiple times. It's a fun fight.
I have done
So,
this
okay, hold on,
fight
really
more
quick. Let's do it. So, M5 review so far. I can understand some of their complaints about M5. I can see it. Or not necessarily, like, I can understand, depending on how they're playing the game, could lead to them having that opinion, is what I'll say. I didn't fully agree on the... It's like not a fun dance fight. I think it's an incredible fight, but you have to care about your performance on it. I think, like, this is what I was going back to when I was memeing about like the having the damage down thing. Is like, if you just kind of get through M5, it's like, whatever. If you care about perfecting it, I think it's a really fun, incredible fight to perfect. I think it's a really good tester for Final Fantasy skills, for Savage rating. Snapshot thing I didn't really fully get, but also I know that's like the coding in Final Fantasy. I can't really begrudge a complaint like that because, like, yeah, the coding in FF is kind of dog water. I press my potion, it doesn't happen. I clip an ability, but sometimes it clips, sometimes it doesn't. Like, yeah, I can't really begrudge that. So I can be like, okay.
Any other Savage fight, and I still need to do the Savage fight because I need one more glaze.
Great song, great flavor. Jet Set Radio, love it. Cool characters, actual ads, creative healing moments, things I have to do.
Guys, if you want to avoid ads, you can Twitch Prime or you can catch me on Kick where there's no ads.
This is the best World of Warcraft fight that has never been in World of Warcraft.
It does have that ads phase business.
It's what I miss, and I don't want to make the two fight. I love...
This is the best World of Warcraft fight that's never been in World of Warcraft. Dude, World of Warcraft blows this fight out of the water, like, no question. Like, like, Final Fantasy is the king of single target fights, but, like, bro, any WoW ad fight blows this out of the water, no question. This is a really good fight for Final Fantasy, like with Final Fantasy class design and everything like that, right? But like, I mean, Broodkeeper was better than this in terms of flipping ad stuff, I think. But this is a good fight in FF terms. Yeah.
Both games and what they do with their raid design. But one of the things I miss the most is the frequency with which individual jobs or classes, in the case of World of Warcraft, have specific things that they have to take care of. In Final Fantasy XIV, so often we do end up just kind of doing the same thing.
It's divided by roles, so we can divide up said blasts, but it's all kind of the same mechanic.
Yeah. Whereas over in World of Warcraft, usually the healers have their own thing to do, the DPS have their own thing to do, and the tanks have their own thing to do. And M6S, everyone has a job. And while there's certain points in the fight
I do
where
like
we all
that.
have to do the same job, a lot of the fight, we have very specific things that we need to do. And I love that. I absolutely love that. To me, that helps build class fantasy, or it reinforces class, or in this case, job fantasy. Having a specific thing to do as a tank makes me feel more like a tank.
And getting to heal you directly. I like that.
It happened
That's
quite a
what
few
I'm here to
times in
do.
this tier. You
Yeah.
got to sign, like, you got to keep Garrett alive. The amount of times I heard that.
That's why I'm here.
It's why you signed up.
That's why I got here.
Happens
is
a
to
lot.
Keep this man alive.
Happens a lot in this fight. Happens a lot in M8S, and that's why.
Okay, so they played tank
I'll
and
say it
healer.
now.
I didn't know that.
M6S and M8S are my favorite fights I've ever done in Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, okay, so you guys think I got the wording? Like, I misunderstood it? Okay, that's fair then. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I will say, though, no, like, M6 is good in the fact that, like, I like how you deal with the ads. I like how it's a case of we single target this, then we AoE this, then based on timings. But after that first Yan dying, it sort of becomes just basically just AoE everything in a cluster. But figuring that out was good fun. But once you sort of know, it's, you know. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. And yeah, like, okay. Yeah.
Full stop. I don't even think it's recency bias. These are amazing encounters.
Sticky Moose hit hard. Riding the wings was okay. That was fine. The desert continually hurt, so that was just a nice little background while dodging, heal everybody business. Dropping the bombs in the mud, it's okay. But that ad phase I had to handle it. So we were doing Hector strat, so I had to handle Ray, and that was enjoyable. I got to hit the Yan, but also heal everybody, but also run from the Jabberwock. That was fun. That was good drama. That felt nice. Watching you guys kill that thing as it marched towards me terribly.
And I got to
get hit in the face very, very hard.
call it Stockholm Syndrome. I had a very strange amount of kinship with my fellow Jan.
Lightning was fine. Lightning was fine.
No, I thought this
This
was
section
really
I
cool.
still need to work on the most.
Well, it's deep in the fight.
But for me, it gets easier when we break off to island, because I know exactly what I'm soaking, where I need to be, and I know exactly how to get to islands based on whatever variance of the pattern happens. I'm so winded by the end of ads phase I played off tank for this role. It's the first time I was just like, I'll take OT because I heard so many Yan memes. I wanted to experience it. I still actually, at the time of recording this, don't know how to main tank this fight. I'd probably be okay for the most part. I would definitely struggle with moving the boss in ads phase. I guess if I think about it critically and I think about where I want the tank to be.
You know, funnily enough, they said about M5 snapshotting, I actually thought one of the things that took away from M6 was there was a lot of movement with the ads, and it was actually really annoying when you'd be trying to do your AoE rotation, but sort of you're moving at the same time and you don't want to miss a global. So you're like doing an AoE ability that you kind of hit some of them, but maybe not all of them or whatever. And playing Monk, it was actually really annoying. I'd be interested to hear from other melee or other like monks and stuff, but I'd have to position so that my chi, my forbidden chakra AoE, it's a line. So I'd have to position really, like I'd have to move over to the eel, shoot my line, then move back, AoE everything in a circle, then move, I had to keep adjusting back and forth, and going in and out and directing things. And then the snaps with the mob movement and stuff, so it's like, it's a bit annoying. But that's Final Fantasy, baby. So you deal with it and you try and get good, and it's something that you can try and outplay. But I actually found the snapping on this to be more annoying because it was a DPS check on the ads, and then it would be annoying when you do like a elixir burst or something and you miss half the mobs or whatever. Or like a Phoenix. I can't remember what my Phoenix ability is called. Phoenix burst or some shit. But yeah. I do agree though. It's cool. Like this fight was really cool in cooking that everybody did have a job. I do agree with that. That was really cool.
Oh dang! I could probably limp through it. I'm coming out of that ad phase so panicked every time. Still. I will say I don't think the ants hit as hard as memes made it seem. Because even when I did this fight with the least amount of gear that I had, I was like, okay, it does hit hard, but like.
Yeah, people big up the Yan thing a bit
through.
much, but
I'm
it's fine. It's a
getting the
community
feeling.
meme, so it's
This is
whatever.
just a feeling that most healers don't want to heal, and most tanks just want to be resilient melee DPS. So when things hit you hard, I go, ooh.
I've
and
never
you're
agreed
like,
with anything more in my
and
life.
that's special for us.
That's why I
Holy
wanna
shit,
tank,
what is it
but-
with healer players? They complain when they heal. This is a universal thing, okay.
I was healing.
I want to survive things that would kill the average DPS.
And I want your health to be 10%, and then I crit, and it's at 100%.
Yeah.
Battle those bars.
Battle those bars. Can you tell we came from WoW? I think they can tell that we came from WoW.
You got a good game here.
Do have a good game. Yeah, the rating is good. The rating is very good, and this fight is exceptional.
I actually didn't know these guys
But
played
yeah,
WoW.
at the beginning, I just go into the.
I mean, they have a
beginning of
box
that
in the
lightning phase
background, but
completely out of
I
my
actually
mind.
didn't know.
If we're not stacking, we call it getting 14 when there is a variable mechanic that can have different patterns, but we get the same pattern over and over and over again. I think we've only gotten spread at the beginning of lightning phase 2 or 3 times. We almost always get stack. And so when we get spread, still to this day, the savage fight I have done the most.
Wait, that's a thing?
I've had to read 2 or 3 times. We almost.
Well, that's a thing? I didn't know there's a stack one? I thought it's when the lightning hits you spread. There's another variant?
Almost always get stack. And so when we get spread, still to this day, the savage fight I have done the most.
What does that look
I've had
like,
to
though?
re-clear it every week, and I'm still missing a glaze. If we get spread at the beginning of lightning phase, I still just go.
Oh, fire or lightning. Okay.
I just like.
Oh, they're talking fire or lightning. I thought they meant on the lightning flash, the thunder. Well, not thunder, but like, yeah, the lightning thing. Okay, hold on. Yeah, got you. That threw me for a second. I was like, I still haven't seen that.
Spread at the beginning of lightning phase, I still just go. I just like look around and just go. I hope there's no one near me. Okay, cool. I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, I don't fully know where I'm
Still
supposed to go.
I find the arrows a little hard to read for some reason.
Same.
The arrows a little.
Yeah, the arrows that
dude,
spawn
yeah,
on the
no.
side of the room.
No,
like,
I will own up to. I look at other people. For
yeah,
that.
I just stack with other people.
Stack with
I
other
have
people.
tried to read that, but it's kind of an oddball one. I know a lot of people get stuck in M6S, and I understand why. The damage check is pretty tight, and this is when we had to make that rating choice. And it's a hard one. And this has happened in every MMO I've ever played, where you're doing a raid and eventually you have to say, we have to make cuts. We have to start choosing who's coming.
They
with
actually
us.
bench
And
people?
That felt lame. That was hard. And it was also on us to stop sucking. Like, we had to get better. And our team that we moved forward with told us we had to get better. This was our wall in terms of just raw self-improvement.
I think we probably could have finished it out without going full comms. It would have taken longer. We took a week off. We did a night of this fight, and then we had travel, and we came back 2 weeks later, and we gorped. Gorp is the opposite of prog, and we gorped.
Real bad.
I like
And
that.
our the rest of our team informed us that they were not happy with that gorp and asked what we could do.
Yeah, that is hard to bench people. It is hard to like say to someone like, "Hey, you're not like you're making too many mistakes." I've never really wanted to do that. I don't think I ever really have. It's something I've really avoided at probably the detriment of the other raiders and the experience of the stream. That's where I fail as a leader, honestly. It is hard when you have to bench people for performance. But yeah, that sucks. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, as a streamer, you get special privilege because it's your team. So there might be somebody who's better than you, but not good enough. That's the awkward dynamic, is when they're better than you, but you're like, sorry, buddy, you didn't make the cut. And they're like, I'm better than you! And you're like, sucks to suck. I've never had to do that personally. I'm always better than everyone I play with, but, I mean, y'all knew that.
You know, what would be helpful? Still think it was a little aggressive, Azumi. You've heard me say this. I think Azumi's going to be surprised that I think it was a tad aggressive. But we decided, F it. Let's just turn the comms on. Because we have questions, and we're reading party chat anyway. And all we're doing is slowing down the exchange of information.
Yeah. I've never done a fight with a guide in this game.
Some people like it. Some people...
So I have no clue how to get to this point. Like,
at that point, we weren't producing a stream anymore. We were just raiding.
We were raiding.
The entertainment, the costumes stopped, the memes stopped, and we were focused from here on out.
I think the memes actually went up because we had 6 more voices that could shit talk. I laughed a lot more.
Look at this damage down.
Have we used the crown?
Shame him. No.
See, I think that's an interesting point as well, is like saying, oh, we weren't streaming anymore, we were just raiding. But I actually get to the point sometimes where I say, I'm actually talking to chat too much. I'm actually trying to like entertain too much. I actually need to focus because people are getting annoyed. Like, viewers are getting annoyed at me. Raiders are getting annoyed at me. I actually need to lock in. So funny. I mean, it's just different perspective on raiding content. But I actually think if you look at the biggest content creators in Final Fantasy, they are the raiders. They're the people doing like doing the difficult content. So I actually think FF is more a raiding game, really.
I tried so hard to get damage down. Wait, you know what? No, I wanted this damage down.
I had a lot more fun going forward. I raided harder, and I learned a lot more. And that made M7S a lot easier.
I think this is the way you're supposed to raid.
I think you're supposed to communicate with people.
This is how you're supposed to raid.
I think that's fair.
Particularly if you're running with the same group over and over again. You should get closer to each other as people. You should become closer friends, if not at bare minimum closer raiders. You don't have to like who you're raiding with, but I have very fortunately come out the other end of this really liking our team. I like these people. I know their sense of humor. I know their breaking points of when they're going to crash out. Looking at you, Robin. But one of my favorite things now is just that like I came out of this being like, I love when I can feel Azumi fighting against the crash out. It's amusing, and it makes me feel better when I'm doing the same thing, because I would usually feel guilty when I'm like, I don't want to be crashing out right now, but I'm feeling it and I'm trying to keep it in. And that felt like a failure point for me. But now I kind of know what that point is for every single person we raid with. And I'm like, I'm human. I'm human. It's okay.
It's true.
Yeah. Except God bless our shot caller, Akari. I feel like Akari, I don't think I've ever gotten a sense that you're crashing out.
Amazing shot caller.
Hold on, let me finish.
If you do, you cover it up extremely well. But yeah, shout out to our...
Yeah, that's interesting. I had not thought about that before. Like, reaching a crash out point where you go, like, I'm actually going to lose it. Funnily enough, I don't think I had that on M5 or M6. I've had it since I've been re-clearing. Where if I get a single damage down, I get really angry because I'm, like, trying to get a clear with 0 failures. And it's like, I get really annoyed at myself and I almost crash out of myself. I think I did actually on M5. I crashed out of myself. That's funny, yeah, when you can feel the crash out coming. This raiding feeling, wouldn't it feel the same in WoW if you have a static or guild? What you mean, K-Sups? They used to play without voice in a static. I think they used to just play on stream.
Team, great people. I'm having a great time. I'm looking forward to re-clears this week. And I really just can't give M6S enough flowers. This is a triumph of encounter design.
So this raiding feeling, though, wouldn't it be the same in WoW if you have a static or guild? The bonding or closeness, getting to know your raid team. Yeah, you can have that in WoW. Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. I think it depends. There's more raiders in WoW. You have 20 people, right? So, you know, it's like you have like what my experience of raiding in Europe on WoW is like the Danes hate the Swedes, who hate the flipping other ones, and then they hate them, and then everyone hates the English, and then forget the French, man. They're out of here. So like, we get a little bit of camaraderie going on, you know. Yeah, there's definitely. I think sometimes in WoW guilds you get like cliques. I don't know that you get that in FF so much because there's only 8 players. It's kind of hard to have like. You can have light party splits, I guess. Like, we're the cool light party. We're light party 1. You guys are light party 2. You guys suck. You have to adjust, you know. Maybe, but.
The Brute Abominator.
I expected more from this fight.
After the wall that was M6S and getting over the hump of difficulty, I think it was on par with what I expected. A lot less pools, but there's still some bullshit in the end that just has to be faced. It's not bad or unfathomable. It's just on paper. This is one of those fights that until you see the flowers fall, turn into flowers, run to the corner with your tether, put that in the middle so it explodes, get behind the flower, run. Now it's either boss or clocks or boss relative clocks. Like, that's just, you're gonna die. You're gonna die after 10 minutes of work, and that just takes time.
That third phase is absolutely nutty. Second phase would be insane if you didn't have a shot caller. I don't know if people are doing second phase without shot calls and party finder. I respect the absolute shit out of you. Strange seats. Strange seats. We know it as corner or marker. If you're doing that on Party Finder without comms, without like joining a random Discord server, something, I don't know, maybe you're still using TeamSpeak, I have so much respect for you. That mechanic.
Yeah, I think they just said if you're doing Psy strats of Strange Seeds, wow. That's what I think I heard them say that a second ago. Maybe it didn't come through on your guys' stream for a sec, but I heard them say that. That was yeah, it's true. Yeah, this fight, I mean, I want to just comment on the point they said that this fight was like, they expected more. I just see this fight as a consistency check. M1 is like, you can kind of get a bunch of damage downs. You don't have to be too consistent. You still kill the boss. You get a lot of leeway. But there's like a dance to learn. Like, can you follow mechanics? M6 is like the wild card. There is a DPS check, of course, like obviously, but it's a bit different from the standard fight. And then M7 is a don't die, maximize uptime. It's a damage check. It's a damage and heal check, which then prepare, like each fight needs to prepare you for the next fight and the next fight. This is the fight of, it's the Elite Four check. That's what this is. It's the victory road, right? It's, are you good enough for the Elite Four? Can you make it through? You got to go through that cave, right? Are you good enough for the Elite Four? Because if you're not, this cave is going to break you. This is victory road right here. Because if you can beat this, then you have the damage, you have the awareness, you have the know-how to tackle M8. That's the way I see it. That's what I think. But yes, mechanically, it wasn't very, like, I mean, apart from this one mechanic, I don't think it was very hard.
I feel like we got it.
By the way, just really quick, as I'm saying, I don't think this fight is very hard. I just really quickly, I just need to just caveat that with I have a 3% pass on this fight. Thank you.
Pretty quick. That's because we were calling it out. We had a dedicated shot caller telling us if it was corner or marker. I know you're also dealing with like some tether bullshit.
I'm doing with some. I'm not supposed to, maybe, but they gave it to me as a team, and
oh, they're doing NA seeds, huh?
Just heal myself more. Nothing easier than healing yourself.
I don't know. I still don't understand it. I just know every once in a while they go, help Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and then,
that's because...
And then also half the time, so you're not even doing it every time, and then half the time you are doing it, they're like, help Kyle, and I'm like, that's nice. He is not even close to in range of any of my shit.
Bye, everybody. Have fun.
Bye,
I'll be 2 after this.
Bye, Kyle.
They're all, this fight, it's perfectly fine. I love the high intensity moments of running in and running out in the basement.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's what got me the most in the late pools, but it's also one of my favorite things to dodge.
Yeah, I really struggled with finding clocks once we got to that final phase in the basement.
Yeah, the clocks when he's in the corner and their boss relative, Ooh,
I actually prefer that over Find North because it's like
it's hard to find North.
I hate the boss
basement
relative
is
corner.
So chaotic. I'm not really thinking about it, so it's easier for me to just go. What direction is the boss facing? I'll just. So for me, that's easy. I just run through him because I'm usually tanking him at that point. He's in the corner. I want to be on the opposite. That's easier for me to fathom because I'm like just be the opposite side of him.
Boss mechanics, line of sight, the music being off tempo, all these things can have an effect on your ability to play and create more difficulty. This completely nebulous room was also part of the difficulty, and we only had one marker. Oh no, wait. Oh, I'm thinking of M8S where we only had one.
We have no markers on the first platform. We have 4 markers on the second platform. We have 4 more markers in the basement.
That's right.
Dog
But
shit.
You're still limited on those number of markers.
You are absolutely limited on those number of markers, yes. However, they're extremely helpful, and God bless people who have come up with these marker positions. We are standing on the shoulders of giants.
Dog shit that this game doesn't. I mean, this
Does
game
anyone know-
is.
If you're watching and you are...
Was it made in
you have history
1980?
with this game, do they intentionally code some ads to behave like drunken toddlers that maybe will do or move in a way that makes kind of some sense to you? Because M6S, I feel like the ads, it's like how a good sports car feels when you huck it into a corner. Like it does exactly, those yans move exactly the way I want them to. I feel so beautifully in control, manifesting my destiny when I'm moving those yans around the ad phase. And then you get to M7S, and it's just like, I have taunted, I have unmended, and I am standing a football field's length away from these ads. And they're just sitting there like,
They do little plant shuffles. You know, maybe they're casting something on their little
let
cast
me
bars.
maybe come over
They're
to you.
stutter stepping. Think of how frustrating we must be as the boss, watching a bunch of people be like, and moving a step, and moving a step. Like they're pulling us around.
No, but they're just like, they're like a cow in a field, not a care in the world. Maybe they'll come to you. Like, I don't understand why some ads feel snappy and controllable and others are just like, I'll get there when I get there. Not a care in the world.
You know, there were horrifying things about this match, like the in and out. That jump for whatever the second in or out would be.
He turns before he jumps.
Who the shit knew if we were all going to die or not?
I've done it multiple times since, and every time I don't know if
we
we're
did
all...
it.
I'm not going to comment on this. I think Xeno covered it perfectly.
that or
Right.
not.
Yeah. And then he does it late in the fight, one of the final things he does.
Until I see my invuln pop, I don't know that we did it correctly. Because he turns around completely, and then he hops at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Why did you animate it that way?
Just to give us all fright is all. Just
Yeah.
to shit our pants.
Yeah. I
Here
don't...
and there.
Yeah, this fight, the normal was so exciting. Like, I couldn't believe that we Mortal Kombated, like...
I did
punches
think
onto the
Savage was
platform
gonna be
and punches
way-
through the platform into the basement.
That was very cool.
And so I was
like,
expecting the Savage
like
to go
turned
hard.
up.
And it's just so similar to normal that it didn't do a whole lot for me. Honestly, it's very similar to 3, because you liked M3S. I don't really care for M3S. I think M3S was just kind of a messy pile of nonsense. And I kind of feel the same way about M7S.
I prefer old Bomber to new Bomber. M3S had really nice heal moments. The 2-minute windows were super clean and easy to do. And I felt like a god keeping everyone alive. I don't miss fuses. I don't miss stepping on fuses.
Yeah, I think we already talked about this.
I haven't done this yet.
Mechanic in M3S. It's like, I really love it in theory, but the game doesn't control well. It doesn't resolve it with enough finesse that it's actually good.
Yeah.
It would be good in a game with snapshotting that I trusted, but it's in Final Fantasy XIV, so I actually think the fuses kind of call attention to a not so snappy feeling
They're
experience.
out ahead of themselves. It's all part of that kind of snapshot server business that's going on.
I like it in theory. I like it in theory.
This was a perfectly fun fight. I think the damage check of it made it intense.
Yeah, I'll take M7S over M3S all day, all day. It's not my favorite fight. It's not my least favorite fight. Significantly better than Dancing Green. It's a cool fight, but it's a cool fight because the normal's cool, not because the Savage is cool.
It's a cool environment, a cool flow.
Yeah, it's a feather in the hat of the design of the base fight. It's very cinematic. It's fun. And Savage is just harder, which is fine. You can do that sometimes. But oh boy, after M6S, yeah, I was like, oh, it's the getting punched.
Something that they've spoken about these fights very specifically when it comes to their design, but something that I haven't heard from them is like their wider viewpoint on boss design, tier design, and how class design, interacts with boss design. So I would be very interested to talk with them about that and get some, because like I gotta say, some of their opinions and insights and everything have been really good, really interesting to listen to, and I might not necessarily agree with something, but I can understand why they feel that way, which is cool. We don't have to agree about everything. I'd love to hear more about their overall viewpoint.
True Walls fight. I can't wait to see what they do for Savage. It's like, oh, okay.
It's called Demolition.
Yeah.
Demolition Deathmatch is what it's called. It's just a lot of mechanics.
Okay, I have to skip this, right?
Climb in the ring. But don't know the rest of the words. They made some choices on the lines they included.
Let's begin, shall we?
Let's begin, shall we?
Yeah, he's trying to be swaggery. It's a weird like baby face turned into the giant robot wolf.
Yeah, I'm still blind cooking this, so I'm not gonna watch this bit. Actually, I'll stop it there.